yourself.
Boom, what's good people? This is your boy Tunji. I'm back again with another vid. Of course, consistency is key. This is the lowdown on the lockdown and you're here tuned into Lockdown Chronicle. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Lockdown Chronicles. Also on TikTok where you can see me busting them moves at Lockdown T, all lowercase. Cool, so this video is dedicated to Jamal Adamako. He suggested in the comments that I should discuss the topic about how coronavirus is going to change the world as we know it. Now, this is a sick suggestion because this is a very big topic. A lot of people are going to have their own views in it, but personally, these are my views, okay? I'd love to see some discussion in the comments about what you guys think of my views and then how they may differ or be similar to your own views. Let's just get straight into it. The first thing I would love to see change about the world after this pandemic is the lack of taking for granted others, whether they be loved ones, work colleagues, someone you just see on the side of the street, you know what I mean? This is a hard one, right? Because as humans, we take people for granted every day. You can't give 100% of yourself to someone all the time. It just doesn't work like that. We're imperfect humans. If, for instance, someone close to you were to pass and you had feelings of, I could have done this better, or I should have said this to them that one last time or whatnot, I would say that that is a very normal emotion to have. And I think that literally 1% of people would not have an emotion like that. That is an extremely rare thing to think, do you know what? I did everything that I could to like make that person's life happy or to kind of please them in the actions I did towards them. It's just very unlikely, but that's how we are as humans, right? And the thing is, like, I'm speaking from very close experience myself, yeah. Call up that person who you've had a little bit of a row with and just be like, yo, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, not that it doesn't matter, but that there's a bigger picture. The second thing that I think would be really great is if we actually valued the NHS. Every other country has their own medical hospital system, etc. So let me just speak about the NHS right now. They're always understaffed. Their payments are not great. From the perspective of a carer, for instance, they're not even looked at as a skilled worker. This coronavirus is something that may change people's attitudes with that, right? So we're having these claps every 8 p.m. on a Thursday, yeah? That's all great. And I was having this discussion with my friend just a second ago. It's great. It's very much showing appreciation. But now I think we as people and then the government as a forefront of that need to start implementing some sort of changes that actually show the value that we perceive on the NHS. It might be their salaries increasing. Maybe it is allocating more money so that they can get better facilities to treat more people. Real acts of value, you feel me? Something that says, okay, cool, we are going to put this in place because we value you and the work that you do. So rewards are key for the NHS, yeah? If they hadn't already proved their worth, they're proving their worth now. So I would really like to see some sort of change in that sense. And I think, I hope, I pray that will be a big change once we come out of this pandemic. Point number 3 is that this one is so hard because I want to say this, but I just don't believe in humanity that this will then actually take effect. Right, you lot have all been seeing that our greenhouse gases, CO2 emissions, etc. have dropped in the last 3-4 weeks. Why is that? Because people aren't going outside. We're not using public transport, we're not taking planes, we're not traveling essentially. Our earth was struggling beforehand. We got told about 5 months ago, if we didn't change in 12 years, then the effects of global warming are irreversible. And now we've had coronavirus and those effects are decreasing because we're just staying still. That in itself is a mad display of truth in terms of this whole global warming climate change thing. If we were to just reduce slightly, and we don't even have to make a drastic change here, but if we just reduce slightly the amount of times that we're active as a world, and it has to be a world effort, we are seeing how positive the impact is right now. I was just watching some news, like NBC News, and they were saying that like they're seeing 30% improvement of greenhouse gases in places like China and Italy and the UK right now. Like 30% improvement. Say we took 1 or 2 days out a month to just have a standstill, essentially lockdown. I feel like that would make a slight difference. It would really make a slight difference, but it's because we've got this fast-paced lifestyle, yeah, and we don't want to stop. And the fast-paced lifestyle is because we always need money coming in. It's all about money, it's all about capitalism, it's all about consumerism, you feel me? That always needs to come in, and it's greed and greed and greed and greed. It keeps the economy running, yes, but the impacts that it's having is peak, like, and you can see the impacts that it's having. So the fact that now we've all stopped, essentially, those effects are really decreasing. And I was seeing like fishes and that coming back to places in Italy, like in Venice and that, where they hadn't been for so long. I think it was in the on the canal where you get the boats. Fishes were coming back to those parts. They were inhabiting those areas and that. Like, that's actually beautiful. But it just shows the impact that we as humans are having on this earth. The reason why I say that I don't think this is going to happen is because once coronavirus is done, every single person in the world is going to be trying to get the economy back to where it once was. So that obviously things can keep on moving. I do understand that, like, the economy has to keep on running. But are we then just gonna reverse everything that we've done in these past few weeks? Aren't we gonna learn something from this? And that is one thing that I will hope, and I do hope and pray actually happens, that the government think, we've had huge economic downfall from this, yeah? However, look what has happened in terms of the positive impacts on this world. Is there some sort of system, strategic process that we can put in place that will allow for the rate of pollution and the rate of climate change to decrease? This is something that I feel needs to be a learning point from this whole process. But boy, I don't know whether this world is ready for that yet, man. I can't even lie to you. Like, I'm gonna have to leave that one to God, because I think he's the only one who's gonna be able to control that, you know what I mean? Another thing that I think would be great to see as a change off of the back of this coronavirus is workplaces changing the way that they do business. We've been seeing that Zoom and Skype and Google Hangout have been working quite well in this time, yeah? Why not limit the amount of travel that we do overseas to go to see someone in America, traveling into the city to go and see? Why not we have a system where you limit the amount of people who do that in a week or in a month or in a year? Is it necessary when you can actually just call them on the phone, or when you can have a video call with them? We're seeing how it's actually quite effective already. So why go back to the kind of traditional route? I completely understand that face-to-face meetings are really valuable because you can build a much stronger relationship this way. But at the same time, I feel like it goes back to my other point of just like caring for the environment. I think the only companies who will really look at this time that we've been in and be like, we can actually make a change here to the way that we do things. It's gonna be the innovative companies, the forward-thinking companies, the very sustainable companies who are really gonna learn from this process. Not all companies will. And I understand it. I understand that companies will go back to the normal way of going to client meetings, etc., traveling here, there, and everywhere. I do understand that. One thing it also may really show is that a lot of people can work from home. You see, you got some of these very traditional companies that feel as if, you know, working from home is a luxury. It's a form of skiving or something like that. So they keep their employees at the office all day, every day. But if you actually realize, yeah, being at home means you eliminate the process of, you know, traveling into work, having to get ready, putting on proper clothing, etc. All of these things really take time. Whereas if someone's able to just jump out of bed, shower quickly, eat their food, boom, they don't even have to be in any mad clothes. They can still be in their pajamas as long as you obviously still shower and that you keep yourself hygienic. You don't want to be smelling where I can just smell your breath through the video call, you feel me? Everyone can actually work from home. This idea of flexible working, yeah, is the way forward. I'm telling you, working from home is really effective because you can be in an environment where you are comfortable, right? You can still talk to your employees and you can still talk to your colleagues through all these video call systems. But I really think that there's a benefit of working from home because you become your own boss in that sense, and you really become motivated and feel like, okay, cool, I need to do this, this and this today, rather than having like some micromanager come in and talking in your ear like, have you done this, this and this, you know what I mean? There's pressure in that. For that pressure actually comes out a lack of work. So if you're able to kind of take things at your own time but still feel like, okay, cool, I'm instilling this authority on myself to get this work done, you'll get it done, I'm telling you. Heck, maybe in the next 20 years, wait, I just said heck. Oh gosh, I've been watching too many American movies, boy. So yeah, man, I'd say the 4 things that I'd love to see change. 1, that people value their loved ones a lot more than you have before. That's my real heartfelt one there. 2 is that the NHS needs some more respect on their name, and I hope that that comes out of this pandemic because these men are the only ones who are on the front line battling this corona thing. Like, these men are armored up. 3, climate change. I think there's gonna be some big questions on climate change after this. 4, that the workplace may change as we know it today. So boom, thank you Jamal Adamako for suggesting this topic because this has been a great one. This is Lockdown Chronicles, the lowdown on the lockdown. Once again, follow me on Instagram at Lockdown Chronicles and follow me on TikTok at LockdownT. I suppose the only last thing that there is for me to say is see ya.